rest for the wicked. Let's stretch those dead legs.
Twisted world, a place I don't belong.
Blood West is a game that took me by surprise. A game set in a western, but featuring old legends, curses, and eldritch horror. It certainly stands out among the Steam listings as an interesting pick for a few days gaming. Bringing together such interesting concepts into a genre that finds itself starved of well-made games. Shockingly, it somehow brings all together in a plump, juicy peach pie, lush with delicious secrets, crispy lore, and gameplay that's just difficult enough to be called tart, yet sweet enough to keep you diving back in for more. This is Blood West, and I'm very hungry. Blood West begins with a cutscene, setting the scene in a gorgeous animated style that I've not seen in many games.
This land is cursed. Where my people roamed freely, now roams only death. It came with the white man on his iron horse. White man brought with him corruption, greed, vanity, ignorance. He killed on holy ground, and the Great Spirit has abandoned this place. The dead can no longer leave the mortal realm. Restless and enraged, they wander the earth, craving the warmth of living flesh. A fate worse than death, undeserving even for a stupid white man. Light still flickers within you, stranger. Go now. Leave this place. May the Great Spirit take pity on you. May your soul find peace in the spirit world.
Yet our death is erroneously reported, as we once more find ourselves alive, brought back from the brink of the abyss by the Totem of Souls, who seems just as shocked as I at our cheating of the afterlife.
Oh, it worked? It worked, and he is even in one piece. We brought you here by means of our immense powers from whenever place you've been before. We know of your exploits and achievements. Your fame reaches wide across the country. Search for the evil lurking in this world. Smell the sulfur in the air. Taste the corruption. Understand the shattered reality. Sense the vitriol staining the remains. Only then will you be free again and able to leave.
After a brief tutorial section, we find ourselves in the home of the gentleman who brought us here in the first place, the Shaman, our source of purchasable items and calming advice in this apocalyptic, confusing scenario we find ourselves in. He's quick to hand us our first quest: bring peace to the buried spirits of his tribe who are beset by evil creatures. A simple enough task, surely, and yet as we descend into the meat and bones of the game, our first cave crawl, it's quick to remind us that we're a mere undead spirit in a land filled with monsters. Oh, come on! I landed on him! I landed on top of him! Caution is key. Turns out, every death we accrue will cause a curse to inflict our soul, eventually evolving into a debuff that sucks ass. Still, our first delve was enough to financially fund some fun new weapons, and with bow in hand, we swiftly eliminate all opposition and lay to rest the spirits, thus paying back the shaman for his kindness to us earlier. Some people prefer their protagonist silent, and their antagonists obvious. But one of the best parts of this game is the main character's voice actor. His dulcet, coarse tones have a sarcastic response to many of the actions the player will take, and every time, it's guaranteed to make you feel like a champion, bring a smile to your face, or curse your bad luck and how tiny your backpack is.
Need to stop hoarding.
No, Never stop hurting! Confidence boosted and pockets significantly heavier, we push on into the vast gully that splits apart this map, popping the coffin-wearing enemies in the knee so many times that the guards of Skyrim would blush profusely. Most enemies so far are quick to fall, but be wary, adventurer, for fickle be the fortunes of the overconfident, and this game is quick to take advantage of you. Hey girl, can you serve me some of those boots? Oh, nope, she's got a gun. Okay.
Your end is nigh.
Something wicked. This way comes.
The artifact I was complaining about is a small trinket that increases in value by $5 for every kill you get, but resets on death. Me, not a gambling addict in any way, shape, or form. You fucking whore! Fuck you! Fuck you! Surely won't be hooked into... Yeah, I don't take this off until I get it to $500. I have a problem when it comes to gear like this. I can't help it. Fortunately, there will still be some learned men in the West who seek to study and spread knowledge of the creatures that haunt this land. And we are fortunate enough to stumble across one such note regarding the prodigal daughters, the name of the masked woman who killed me earlier. Thorough observation of species known among noses, barren lands as prodigal daughter could yield interesting results. While retained a humanoid form, at least at first glance, the damage dark magic inflicted on her mind is severe, even if she did not lose the ability to speak. The creature suffers from a serious case of megalomania and sees herself as a beautiful young lady who demands a total and unconditional admiration from the entire world around her. At the same time, she keeps wearing a mask that conceals deformations of her face in a hideous grimace. Her weapon of choice is a shotgun. Therefore, it's best to kill prodigal daughters as swiftly as possible, as any prolonged combat may prove fatal. Shooting her in the face will break her mask and make her more aggressive, which might not be ideal. Anything that reveals her ugliness, be a living being or even an ordinary minnow, becomes a target of her furious attack. Oh, that's why I got dominated by Dommy Mommy give me milkies earlier. What? I won't play every note we find in this video, but in your adventure through the Bloody West, keep an eye out for them, as they can truly make fights infinitely easier with hints, as can new weapons. Each chapter comes with 1 or 2 unique weapons available to purchase from the merchant in that area, and it just so happens that the one in this chapter is a bow with infinite ammo that costs 3 HP per shot but has no bullet drop, and significant damage. This will be our main weapon for this chapter, perfect for crushing the evil of the land, but also a double-edged sword that may prove difficult to manage at times. Making good use of our new weapon, albeit with a lot of risks. We already lost most of our HP. This is such a silly weapon, but I love it. I finally found our first cursed item blighting this land, a cursed gilded cauldron. And after stripping the town dry of loot, I finally make my way back to the Totem of Souls to get an explanation of what the hell is going on with this cauldron.
Repulsive, isn't it? This gilded cauldron reeks of human meat. You can imagine the horrors it witnessed. What you probably can't imagine is that it was made by a very proud human being who believed he can make everything out of everything. So he made himself a cauldron that, in time, turned out to be his most comforting belonging. The little golden carvings and details, he added them as he descended into madness before finally cooking human meat in it.
Thus, further informed, and with knowledge of where 2 evils lay, we grabbed the cursed item out of the fort.
Oh, good.
We found the golden skull of Rome.
Gone.
The golden skull of Rome for 50,000 gold. I've never seen that much money, and now I'm giving it to you for a dead man's glittery skull. Why don't you just get a big bucket of water and just murder my children in front of my eyes?
And head further north to explore a bizarre marking that's appeared on the map. A marker that leads us to the doorstep of yet another trader.
You're one of those bravados looking to make a quick buck? Just don't come back to me crying about all them monsters.
Apparently a trader with a mind for gold and a silver tongue to boot. Because I'll be damned if I'm not about to go take on an entire town full of ghosts and ghouls on the silken word of that there cowboy. Not before I get accosted by the Totem of Souls, though.
This skull is the thing that started the downfall and gave way to the birth of the curse. When the soldiers at the fort were building a new well, they found this skull, and they gave it to the colonel, who liked such oddities and old artifacts. He didn't even realize when the skull started whispering into his mind. They found the gold under the fort, thanks to these whispers. and thus the way to the curse has been opened wide.
Oh yeah. Demons and darkness and the sources of all evil. I should probably do that first, huh? On the other hand...
Good job.
What? What did I have? When did I do that? Yeah, so apparently I'd already completed his quest without knowing it. So, on to the items of eternal darkness. I plumbed into the church's depths to dig up the chalice of bloody blood, or something like that, and brought it back to the totem like a good lapdog.
I hope you never had an idea to drink from this chalice, for it's definitely going to drive mad anyone who tries doing that. It belonged to the Frenchman leading the sect. At first, it was used only as a symbol of mockery, used in cheap imitations of Holy Mass. But as you may have guessed, with time it was not wine being served inside this chalice, but blood. That's it! You have given us enough of the wicked essence to discover the root of the curse. Yes, indeed. We can almost taste the filth. Your goal lies deep underground. Search it in the canyon and take this. This will allow you to enter the hidden place that is home of the evil. But there's more corrupted gold in this land.
So, we have the choice of either skipping the rest of this level and jumping straight to the boss, or grabbing the last two items of great evil to help purify this land even further. Fortunately for you, with the power of editing, here's me grabbing the first one.
You can never have too much of those.
And the second one. So what's Charcoal Scholar Pal got to say about this now?
If you listen carefully, you may be able to hear the silent lament of a once noble soul coming from the canyon.
Son of a bitch!
Never know when I may need one.
This badge belonged to the last sheriff of this little town. He was as brave as he was oblivious to the real danger. His beliefs in justice and law allowed him to resist the curse for longer than almost anybody else, and yet he fell into the spiraling depths of paranoia. Everybody was a suspect. Everyone could be plotting something evil behind his back. He died fighting cultists he followed into a canyon, not seeing the evil right under his nose. That's the last cursed item tied to the evil that had spread across this land. You did well, mortal, and we appreciate your efforts. Here, something for you. Ah, one more thing. When you go to face the evil, look out for tormented spirits. Their cries will lead you to a secret passage. In the tunnel, seek left every time.
Job fluffing done. This game walks the finest balance between just being too long in an area and just being long enough to make you feel satisfied and fulfilled with an overarching feeling of more. But hey, like always in these games, it's time to engage with the worst mechanic, the boss fights. I don't know what it is with every game we've played recently, but for some reason, they really struggle to make engaging boss fights. Prototype had a massive issue with bosses being boring and repetitive. Fear's many bosses were just normal enemies, which is whatever. Fable's bosses pretty much speak for themselves and how many they are, and even Lords of the Fallen had a problem with getting bosses right. I have no idea what voodoo hoodoo hippity dippity bullshit magic FromSoft pulls out to make every single one of their bosses in both Dark Souls and Armored Core, barring the bullshit gimmick bosses, engaging, but they should write a book on it so other developers can learn. Anyway, I'm pretty sure the sentences I've been writing here have carried on long past the length of time it took me to fight the first boss, and the first boss was probably the most engaging of them all. It's a shame. This game is genuinely phenomenal, and the boss fights just let it down so hard. But hey, it's the first of 3 chapters smashed, and the rest of the game just keeps getting better and better.
For the righteous men, even in darkness, light dawns. And yet, the Lord took everything from his most loyal servant Job over a bet with the devil. Not knowing his offense against God, Job prayed for death to end his torment. He longed for the eternal rest of the grave. But the Lord said unto Satan, Behold, is in thine hand. And by God's permission, He was the devil's plaything until the devil is done with him. Job was a man of faith, a wealthy man. The devil took his good life away and riddled his body with boils. You test me, Lord, but I will get it all back, no matter the cost.
And thus we enter chapter 2.
There you are. Summoning you is becoming increasingly difficult. Is it passage of time, a growing distance of soul, or something entirely else? But never mind that. We are in need of your skills once again. A faint thread of beliefs and faiths bundled with traces of tragedies allowed us to discover yet another residence of corruption. We summoned you to this land to find and uproot the evil that sprouted here. The issue is, we can't exactly sense its whereabouts. It seems to be everywhere. And nowhere. You'll need to put some legwork into the matter. Our best bet would be to integrate yourself with locals. A few of them seem to not be entirely corrupted yet. Ask them, search for anything that may prove useful, do a few deeds if it needs be. Actually, one of these humans just approached. A woman. You may want to speak to her.
Who the hell are you? Yet another marauder out for blood? Enough! Blast, I don't have time for this. I will give you one and only one chance. Waste it at your own risk. Just give me one reason to believe you're here to stir up more evil and I will blast your guts out. There are 2 people missing. A little girl and a man of cloth. Find them and bring them here, safe and sound. And I may change my mind about you.
First excursion into the swampy wilderness of Chapter 2 is heralded by the introduction of just how terrible this region is going to be. Full of disgusting, twisted creatures that throw leeches at you and assault the senses relentlessly as they seek no reprieve other than the consumption of your flesh. Of course, with my spirit bow in hand, there's no dang way they'll get to us, right? Well, we'll cross that bridge once we get there. Our first goal is to rescue 2 lost souls who have wandered away in the darkness to prove to a lady that we are indeed kindred souls and not looking to eat her face off. The missing pair are the preacher and the lost girl, located in the fort and the sawmill respectively. Being closer, the fort is the obvious first choice, so let's go! The fort is mostly populated by enemies we're familiar with from Chapter 1. None of that stops them from absolutely wrecking me at the first opportunity. Well, what did I fucking say? I fucking knew it!
Something wicked. This way comes.
However, that is but a minor setback as we descend into the caves beneath the fort, encountering our first glimpse of the skin collectors. Large, corpulent men who thankfully cannot fit into tiny holes in a wall where we can pepper their kneecaps with arrows and burn them to a crisp. Easily dealt with for now. I do icy vigorously every night. That's not what I meant. Are you the priest? Turns out the priest wasn't underground after all, but he won't join us back at camp until we find his holy relic and bring it back to him. But first, there's an item in the shop I've been eyeing that would work perfectly with this bow. Oh, headshots regenerate. Oh, when using revolvers? Ah! I just saved up all that fucking money for nothing. Headshots give $5. Killing 5 enemies in a row with headshots lifts curses or flaw. Do I give up the archery lifestyle and go for the revolver lifestyle? So, leaving behind our pathetic spiritual woodchucker and becoming a glorious future cowboy, we descend once more and find the priest's holy item. Still haven't found whatever the hell it is this priest wants. He literally wants alcohol. There's a still in this place somewhere that he wants. Fucking drunkard priests, dude. Found it. And with that in hand, the priest readily joins us back at camp, leaving one wayward soul left to find, the lost girl. So after a quick conversation with the priest about a miraculous panacea,
I came upon the rumor that a cure for all diseases is hidden within the barren lands.
off we go to the sawmill to save the girl. The panacea can wait. God knows how the hell a child is surviving in this hellhole. Oh, by the way, the skin collectors I belittled earlier, yeah, they're absolutely terrifying in the open.
Watch out!
Here's the cover. Don't fuck with the skin collectors. They literally collect skin. How the hell do you suppose to catch people to do that? Luckily, again, death is once more a minor setback for us. And after a brief delay in collecting a lost doll, the child is happy to join us back at camp. Twin, the lost girl's name, returns safely, and thus we have gained the trust of a Wicca lady, leading her to finally open up to us about 2 things.
Can you consider giving it to me? Paint me pleasantly surprised. You actually did find them both. Maybe I was wrong about you. Please, accept my thanks. Give it to me.
With her on Team Icy now, she informs us of a gnarled tree above the camp that has some mysterious individual talking to it. An individual who's bound to know more about the cursed items we seek to cleanse this land.
Wide flows the river of souls. Screams disappear into its waves. Silence. Peace remains. I do not do the good I want to, but the evil I do not want to. This I keep on doing. Seek on death, one who does not live, yet dwells still. He was like you, but destroyed he was. His parts scattered the land. We tried to fight the evil here. I failed. Both of us.
Wait, what if this undead was hacked into pieces? That would explain why they feel so scattered. Yes, we sense something. Slight traces, but it's better than nothing. Inside, a breeding farm for the alligators, vandalized graveyard near the town, and caves used by an unknown tribe for their rituals.
And after using our massive brain to eliminate special enemies. Okay, that's definitely a ghost. So up to silver ammo. Reload. There we are. And beautiful. Now we swap ammo and reload. Okay, look, it may not be a massive brain to you, but for me, that's an amazing advancement in neuron usage. So don't judge! We find ourselves to the south of the town, and after a fierce firefight, we find a bit more tasty lore on the priest.
Damn that priest. I knew he was influential, but I never expected he'd force a whole squad to be his bodyguards on some personal mission. A unit of the church's finest guards, now reduced to a muddied human shield. For whom? Under a cloak of faith, he barely hides his love for pipe and booze. And at the first sight of trouble, he just bolted. I don't even know when, as we were fighting for our lives, and he simply vanished. Now we're lying in pools of our own blood, barely alive. We fought as we should and vanquished those devils. Only I remain from the whole squad. There's an abandoned church nearby, and I shall wait there for a brother. God's wills it, we'll come there looking for help. Find me instead.
Unfortunately, we cannot grab the body part from this area until we find a key, of which I've used every single one on loot chests. God damn my loot whoring! So after a brief return to home camp to purchase a key from Big Booby Babe, we return to the broken chapel to go grave robbing. There we go.
Like a goddamn ninja.
Skull of our undead friend. Whatever dreamless sleep he dwells in, soon he will be awoken. Wait, did you feel that? Something's moving. Something humongous.
Disgusting! You just abused a woman! How dare you! How dare you! You're disgusting!
Of course, the first thing I tried to do was ignore the advice of the Totem of Souls and fight the damn thing. Yeah, Fuck that. Let's go get the rest of our undead friend, starting with the Alligator Cove. That's bound to be a walk in the park at this point. Oh, shit! Sorry. Oh my god! Problematic. I'm bleeding, and I'm being chased by a fat fuck. This is more than slightly problematic. Oh. Thank God for that. I don't like this, dude. This sucks. Big tree thing? Yeah. It's following the sound of my gunshots. God damn it. Luckily, on our way up to the alligator farm, we accidentally stumble across a site of seeming spiritual significance. Perhaps the location of the panacea we seek. Use the correct ammunition for the correct enemies, guys. I know that might seem like a stupid thing to say, but that would have been an impossible fight otherwise. Holy shit. Yes! Panacea in hand, now we have to make the difficult decision between the bastard priest who led innocent men to their deaths and abandoned them in their moment of need, or a big bodacious babe. Wait, that's not a difficult decision at all!
Don't tell me you've actually found it.
Here.
Thank you so much. Wait, it's liquid? Huh. Somehow it never occurred to me that it may be a potion. Well, I'll manage somehow. Thanks again.
We'll come back to this later, but for now, crossing over a bridge absolutely inundated with bastard death stalkers, which, by the way, can suck a fat we finally make it to the alligator farm, a decrepit place absolutely hoaching with skin collectors, alligators, and dead things. But also one very nice, very cool hat. Oh, it's his hat. I thought it was his gun. And the happiest alligator I've ever seen. Oh my god, look how happy this guy is. Oh my god, I can't believe I'm dead. I love being dead. It's my favorite state of being. You should put your hand in my mouth. I wish I was that happy. It was just a happy guy. Worried that handing this in before grabbing the other undead item would somehow power up the boss again. Instead of returning now, I decided to head right on over to the cultist cave. A cave that is, I mean, well, it's kind of obvious what it's filled with. Luckily, cultists are the easiest enemies ever. So after a quick firefight, if I didn't need ammo right now, you'd be super dead. This thing is not easy to use. Holy
Here I come.
fucking aim-hacking piece of shit.
Another tragedy struck our little community. A preacher. He's gone. Had a nasty fit of his illness and went out to get some fresh air.
Damn, girl, you're pretty.
At first, we all heard him coughing up his lungs out there. But then it all went quiet, and he didn't come back. And we started looking for him. He was nowhere to be seen.
I'd make the same choice again. And not just because she's a pretty lady. That priest was a nasty piece of work at the best of times. I'm glad we never saw him at his worst. Regardless, let's drown out our woes by absolutely slaughtering the inhabitants of Cultist Cave, shall we? This area was brutal, with enemies lurking around every corner. But after 20 minutes of non-stop banging, we finally find the last missing item for our new undead friend. All right, here we are. It's his revolver.
You can never have too much of those.
All he needed was his gun, his hat, and his head. And with that, we can bring back an undead gunslinger. Okay, what the fuck?
It's a hat. Such a simple piece of clothing, and yet we can feel importance. Suited well, but there's much more to be done. Time to make whole what is now broken. He who layeth before us shall rise from the clutches of oblivion. Nervous, are you? No need to be. We'll do all the work now.
I walk the earth once more. I know this magic that keeps you alive. I have seen it before. Working with some malicious souls, partner? To hell with it. I know a way to get rid of that malicious bark-covered prick. We need our pieces of the beasts lurking in this area in a single rare plant. They will be our connection, the link, ever so bloody and messy. Cult mortis teeth, a giant leech, Rogaro's tongue, and finally, an angel's halo.
One quick shooting trip later, we come back to our undead buddy with the gear in hand to perform the ritual.
Excellent. Your hunt will begin very soon. You want to take a few steps back? This rite can be quite tricky. I've done it. The bastard will bleed now.
And unfortunately, we are once more into the worst part of the dang game. The boss fights. This giant tree monster, this amazingly designed, incredibly loud and dangerous sounding manifestation of evil, walks at snail's pace, rarely throws a few plants at us, and just walks in a freaking circle. All we need to do to beat it is walk in front of it, set off a few fire traps, and shoot it until it falls over. There's no real skill required, there's no challenge, it's just a case of having enough ammunition and being able to fend off the tedium. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know how to fix this. FPS games in general have terrible boss fights, and I can barely think of one or two that break the mold even slightly. Those two being Titanfall 2, which had some really fun mech boss fights, and the Icon of Sin from Dune Eternal. Other than that, I mean, Lost Planet 2 has amazing boss fights, but that's a third-person shooter, so I don't know if that even counts. Leave a comment about boss fights in FPS games you really enjoyed. I'd love to maybe make a video breaking down how to make a boss fight from the first-person shooter perspective fun and engaging to help game designers in the future. Anyway, back to the boss. Let's skip to the part where it dies, yeah? Dip, dip, potato chip. Dip, dip, potato chip. Dip, dip, potato chip. Dip, dip, potato chip. And that marks the end of the swamp. Let's go see what the Undead Gunslinger has to say.
Wouldn't have done it better myself. We must act quickly before Totem of Souls realizes what is going on. For a while, it will be drunk with success, but that moment won't last long. I want to get out of here and out of that totem's influence. It makes me sick in my bones. If I were you, I wouldn't trust it either.
Still here? You're free to go for now. Or do you need anything? If not, leave us to our thoughts.
Okay, sure. I guess we're going with Brother Pal. Hey. That's respawning nitro ammo. This changes everything. Oh yeah, I'm not kidding. Every time you sleep, this lovely gunslinger store resets, giving you infinite purchasable late game ammo. But surely I wouldn't abuse that, right? Okay, I only abused it for 10 minutes before deciding to move on. I'm not that much of a scumbag.
No loose ends. That's how I do my business. The giant bastard that was my bane, dead. The double-crossing ex-partner who had me cut to pieces, dealt with. We have a lot in common, my new pal and I. Like a complicated relationship with death. But the demons he's running away from are wearing me down. Leave no loose ends, my friend, or I'll lend you myself.
Well, that thing? Don't worry about it. I'm sure it's fine.
Well, the sleeping beauty finally woke up. Did your highness rest well? Should I bring a coffee and warm slippers? We were almost there, on my old hunting grounds, but suddenly I hear a noise as if half of the mountain just collapsed. And then you're gone, and I see this big old hole in the ground where you stood. So yeah, you fell down and no other way around it. Died. I admit it reluctantly, but we need a totem of souls. Either we summon it here, or our future doesn't look so bright. We need to build an altar and infuse it with power. A long time ago, I hid a small artifact in a nearby cache. It can help us on the way. Now go fetch it, and let me think in peace.
But we have a task. Summon the Totem of Souls to our location so we can live forever as free immortals. Easy, right? Oh, that sucks. Literally. Little bastard sucked onto my face, dude. Holy shit. Still, it's not too nightmarish to deal with. And after a quick dive into a crypt, we find the Way of the Spirit, the item the Gunslinger was seeking.
We need to find a way to build a Totem of Souls here. I really don't know how many times I'll be able to put you back together when you trip or fall into a Wendigo's maw. You can't rely on my memory. Too much has changed. Even my favorite saloon is in ruins. It just so happened that during my recon I saw a light from afar. I don't know of any monster that uses a lamp, so it means somebody alive and civilized is here. We really should ask them a few questions.
So off we go to find... Babe? You followed me!
Favorite undead in the flesh. Good to see ya. You and your friend couldn't find a seedier place to stay, huh? I can almost spot a pattern in your choices.
What a lovely surprise! It gives us some much needed closure on chapter 2. And I guess Twen's father turned out to be the shaman who petitioned the Totem of Souls for us in the first place, which is simply delightful. But no time to dwell. We have a job to do and a man to find. Luckily for us, there's not too much to discuss regarding the enemies in this area, as they're mostly just enemies we've faced in the past. The main standout differences are the Boo-Hag, who is patently terrifying, the Skadimuk, who is gorgeous, the Demon, who is, maybe the enemies here really are bad news. But surely the next one isn't as... Broken Scream, an invisible terrifying enemy. Well, alright, well that's it. What the fuck is a hellbent? So yeah, suffice to say, while the normal enemies here are easy enough, the sheer terrifying strength of the new enemies make this region an absolute hellhole. Stealth is greatly recommended. After sneaking to hell and back through the area, we finally come across the cave where the gentleman we seek was last seen, and within, find a doctor who has a lot to say.
Fascinating. You are an undead. I see the wounds and the paleness of the skin and the unearthly glow in your eyes. Incredible. A powerful soul would surely require a proper vessel. And as it happens, I know where you might find one.
So the doctor will wrangle us up a potent antidote to the toxins, as long as we bring him the part he needs. So a quick bang bang laser, we return with the parts he required.
I regret that the artifact is of makeshift variety, but it should keep you alive, even amidst the worst fumes and toxic vapors.
Thus, protected as we are from the toxic vapors, it's time we were off to the bottom of the cavern to seek the strong soul. Okay. Either this is it, and there is no fight, or this is about to kick my ass.
What's this now?
Really? All that anticipate for nothing. All that anticipation for nothing. I am furious. Yeah, so it turns out the strong soul already died. I spent the entire time delving into this cavern, looking at that giant skeleton thinking, wow, this is going to be an amazing fight, only to be cock-blocked at the end by death. Damn it, death! Ah well, at least there's a cool surprise waiting for us at camp.
It's good you're here. I was about to go and find you. While you were away, something amazing happened. A woman in need arrived at our place. Try to help her, yeah? Do that for me and I'll owe you. She's nearby, but don't get trigger happy, okay?
Hey!
Hey, handsome. I have it on good authority that you never refuse to help a lady in need. I need your help in getting my garments back. Skin, to be precise.
You want me to bring you human skin?
Not just any skin, my skin. Do you think I parade Skyclad by choice? Believe me, I would rather be showing myself in a much better light.
Gunslinger Boo-Hag sitting in a tree. S-E-X-Y. Alright, that quick diversion won't kill us. Let's go get the girl some skin so I can stop having nightmares every time I look at her. Before I do that though, let's tell the Gunslinger about the soul we found.
Great job. You even managed to do it before the end of the world. Alright, since that is now out of the way, time to find the right place. I found a promising spot, although it wasn't easy. See that big mountain? Cliché, I know, but I sense there the potential for a successful summoning ritual. We have a teeny tiny problem, though. The problem is that the passage is closed. I sense that nearby spirit totems are somehow connected to the rest. Maybe we can use that to our advantage. Go and investigate them. Make an offering, do a rain dance, gobble up some mushrooms, or just get plain wasted. They seem to react to a word. Skeetsy. Whatever it means.
So we have 2 tasks ahead of us. Finding some skin for the boo hag and talking with some spirits. This will be a long trip. Our first stop is the Silver Peaks town to grab Miss Hag her skin, as I'm sure we're all curious about how she looks with it on.
My skin! Now I'll finally be able to doll myself up and consummate our undead union! Oh, just wait until you see me. You'll never forget the sight.
Holy shit!
Maybe I'll find you a betrothed, eh? An eternity spent basking in the moonlight? Oh, how romantic!
Dudes! She fixes up real nice. Anyway, what's the deal with the creepy animal statues? So we go to the various locations we've already been to grab the statues in order to access whatever the hell this place is, and make our way back to hand them in.
You finally dealt with those bloody animals. The path into the depths of the mountain stands open. Indeed, a job well done. Are you ready to enter the depths? Listen, you have to be prepared for anything. No one can predict what this horde of tormented souls might think or do when it gets here. Maybe everything will go smoothly, or maybe quite the opposite. Go now, and I'll move the camp closer to the entrance so I don't have to walk halfway through the mountain range. When it's all over and you come back, I'll be waiting with a bottle of something good to celebrate. We did deserve a celebration now. See you soon.
And after a brief trip through the mountains, we reached the summit. And... whoa. With this soul I begin the summoning.
Oh, it's you. We expected you. Although we never expected in our wildest dreams that our next meeting would take place under such favorable circumstances.
Okay.
Yes, this place is perfect. The veil between our worlds is thinnest here. And this place, meat and bones, perfect building blocks for our new body. You did well, Spark. You just set your whole world on fire.
That doesn't sound good.
As a reward for your faithful but blind service, you will receive a gift from us. You will be the first to see our birth in this world. You will become the first victim on our altar of immortality. Then we will feast upon this world and the creatures that inhabit it. We'll suck them dry. Freedom at last.
But I don't want to set the world on fire. Okay. It's on, I guess? What is that? What is that? Holy shit, that is an Eldritch Horror from another planet. Okay. We're fighting a dragon. This is fucking awesome. Oh, that's not good. Okay. I see where all the our boss budget went. Oh, that's not good. Well, I just watched. Well, I killed it. There's no way it's that easy, right? What? It was that easy?
Ah, the sweet thrill of victory. The villain is slain, the hero victorious, finally free. My fool, you'll never be free. We created you, granted you powers and abilities that exceed those of mere mortals, and yet you are but a tool. Our wayward soldier of a cause way beyond your understanding. Without us, you have no purpose. You will find no peace, no escape, no place to call home. As you wander aimlessly until the end of days, you will realize all you achieved was in vain. You will witness the spread of the curse and the end of the civilization of man. And there will be us, waiting, and you will grovel before us. For we are eternal, and you are ours for eternity.
That was Blood West. Honestly, the boss fights being as ass as they are really didn't bring down the game as much as it may have seemed through this review. This game was genuinely a phenomenal blast out of left field for me, and that kept me engaged from start to finish. It being roughly 12 to 13 hours long was the perfect length for it, I feel, and I'll be damned if I didn't have an absolute blast the entire time. The gunplay is perfect, the sound design is chunky, and if you have a day or two to kill between poning noobs on League of Legends or playing the new cracked Pal World, definitely suggest giving this game a go. One of the weird things I think about Blood West that I found mostly was the fact that it kind of scratched an itch I didn't know I had. The feeling of being in a Skyrim dungeon, crawling around with your bow, stealthing and shooting things, peeking around corners to see where enemies are and kind of taking it one step at a time. It filled a void I didn't know was there, and it just kept going and going and kept getting better and better. The enemy designs were brilliant, the lore fantastic, and getting great big giant guns to take down great big giant enemies and sneaking around trying to find loot. Yeah, it really did feel like one giant Skyrim dungeon delve, and that was the best part about Skyrim. Don't lie, you know it was. So definitely give this game a go. As for me though, it's time for me to go back into hibernation until we check out another game together. It's a choice between two for me, a certain popular RPG from 2004 or another one from 2009. Let me know your thoughts. So this is postscript Icy here, again coming to do like the ending bit that's totally unscripted. I suck at reading scripts. I had to do a lot of retakes on this one because for some reason I keep stumbling over my words. Anyway, I just want to do a thank you once again to all the bad decisions in hire on Patreon who genuinely make this possible. So that goes for Darcykins, Stephen, Christina, Christopher, Constantine, Doug, Leah, Admiral Critic, Ava Orchid, Bluefire, Bundini, Brett, I don't want to say your last name in case it's Brianna Honeybee, Carnage, Kaz, Conovania, another Darcy, Dino, Devinox, Drace, Echo, Equester, Giorgio, Ixie, Jacob, Jared, Kalen, Mistaken, Monster Rife, Pian, Rose, Scythe, Psychos, Takahishi, Typical Brazy, Victoria, Wet Noodling, Zero to Give, which is ironic, and I think that's all of them. Yeah, that's all of them. So thank you guys so much. That's genuinely phenomenal levels of support. Thank you. So the entire, after feedback from the fair video, the entire Blood West video will be released in 4 parts on the IcyCaress Unchained channel. After this video goes live, you should see part 1 there. If you want to go see my playthrough of it and see how I handled getting slaughtered repeatedly by Eldritch Horrors from another dimension. Meanwhile, I am going to go. For those who somehow still stuck around here, the popular RPG from 2004, if you didn't know, was Fable. I've already finished it, so I can get to work on that video immediately. Or Dragon Age Origins, which I'm currently in the middle of a playthrough of. It keeps getting delayed because I'm playing a lot of Power World, but once Dragon Age Origins is done, we will be able to do a video on that. Pick one between the two, see what you think, see how you feel. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you on the 15th for the next video. Have a lovely one.